In 2007, the governor of New Jersey nearly died in a crash on the Garden State Parkway. In the days after, there were questions, estimates, careful statements, and then investigators pulled a small recording from the wrecked SUV itself, and every estimate stopped mattering. The vehicle had been doing 91 miles an hour in a 65 zone. Nobody had to guess anymore. The car testified. That recording came from a device that is almost certainly in your truck right now, not the tracker we pulled in the earlier videos. This is a different box with a different job, and you need to understand the difference because this one you should not pull. It doesn't phone home. It doesn't report your Tuesday to an insurance broker. It sits in silence sometimes for years, and then in the worst 5 seconds of your life, it wakes up, memorizes everything, and waits to be read. In court, that reading can convict you or it can save you. And who gets to read it comes down to a set of rights most drivers have never heard of, including one federal law that is quietly on your side. Stay to the end, because the last section is the exact playbook for the side of the road. And it's where almost everyone gives their rights away without knowing it. First, what this thing is. It is called an event data recorder, an EDR, and everyone else calls it the black box. It lives inside or alongside your airbag control module, buried under the center console or the driver's seat, wired into the heart of the vehicle. It has been standard practice for years. By the mid-2010s, government figures already put it in well over 9 out of 10 new vehicles, and today it is essentially all of them. If your truck was built in the last decade, assume the box is riding with you. Now, what it records, and just as important, what it doesn't. This is not a continuous recorder. It is not filming you, and it is not logging your daily commute. The black box holds a rolling memory of only the last few seconds, constantly overwriting itself, and it only saves that memory when something violent happens, an airbag deployment or a jolt hard enough to almost deploy one. When that trigger hits, it freezes roughly the final 5 seconds before impact. And in those 5 seconds is everything an investigator dreams of: your exact speed, how far the throttle was pressed, whether the brake was on or off, your engine speed, whether your seatbelt was buckled. On newer vehicles, your steering input, and the force of the crash itself. Federal rules standardize the list. If a vehicle has a recorder, it has to capture these core measurements uniformly, so a crash investigator can read any of them the same way. Think about what that means in a courtroom. A driver swears he was doing 45 and braked hard. The box says 78, throttle open, brake never touched. That is not a witness with a bad memory or a grudge. That is the vehicle's own nervous system, time-stamped. Prosecutors have used it exactly that way for years, and here's the part this channel cares about. So have innocent drivers in reverse. The same 5 seconds that convict a liar can prove you really did brake, really were under the limit, really did get hit by the other guy. The box is not your enemy. The box is a witness. The entire question is who controls the witness. And here's where I get to give you good news for once, because there is a federal law on your side and almost nobody knows it exists. It's called the Driver Privacy Act of 2015, and it says in plain terms, the data in that recorder belongs to the owner of the vehicle, not the manufacturer, not the police, not your insurance company. You. If you own the truck or you're the leaseholder, that recording is your property under federal law. Nobody can legally pull it just because they'd like to. And you knew there was a but. The same law lists the ways they can get it anyway, and there are 5. Learn these because the whole roadside game is played inside them. 1, a court order or a warrant. In a serious crash, a fatality, a felony charge, police will get one, and courts have backed the idea that the box deserves real protection. Georgia's highest court threw out a download police did without a warrant. That protection is exactly why they'll usually just get the paper. 2, and this is the big one, your consent. You can simply be asked at the scene, rattled and polite, and if you say yes, everything else in this video stops mattering. 3, a federal crash investigation. The national safety agencies can pull it for their work. 4, emergency response. Medics can use crash severity data to treat you. 5, safety research with your identity stripped out. Those last 3 are narrow and mostly fine. The first 2 are where your rights live or die. Now, the back door nobody reads until it is too late, your own insurance policy. Buried in the standard contract is what is called a cooperation clause, your promise to assist your insurer in investigating a claim. Insurers routinely treat that clause as the key to the box. And after a serious claim, they may ask you to authorize a download, with the implication that refusing is failing to cooperate. Add one more wrinkle. If the truck is declared a total loss and they pay you out, the insurer now owns the vehicle, and as the new owner, they own what is in the recorder too. And while the vehicle sits at a tow yard or a preferred body shop, the box sits with it. Understand the chessboard. After a bad crash, your truck and its witness is usually in someone else's custody within hours. So here's the playbook. Not paranoia, procedure. First at the scene. Report the crash honestly, but do not volunteer estimates of your own speed and do not guess. You do not have to narrate. Second, if anyone, an officer, an adjuster, or a tow operator with a form asks you to consent to downloading the vehicle's data, you are allowed to say the 11 most useful words in this situation. I don't consent to that without speaking to my lawyer first. Consent given at the roadside cannot be ungiven. Make them use the legal process that exists precisely to protect you. Third, if the crash is serious, if anyone is hurt, or there is any dispute about fault, get a lawyer before you sign anything, and understand that your side can read the box too. There is a standard industry tool for this, the Crash Data Retrieval System, and any qualified accident reconstructionist can pull the recording and preserve it for your defense. If those 5 seconds prove you braked, you want them preserved yesterday. Fourth, in any claim, ask your insurer in writing whether event data was accessed, by whom, and request a copy of anything downloaded. It's your property. Act like it. Fifth, if the truck is being totaled and those 5 seconds matter to your case, talk to your lawyer before you sign the title over because you are also signing over the witness. And sixth, know your ground. Around 17 states have their own black box statutes stacked on top of the federal law, some stronger, so spend 5 minutes learning which one you live in. And now the warning, because this channel showed you how to pull one module already, and I know exactly what some of you are thinking. Do not touch this one. Do not pull it. Do not wipe it. Do not unplug it after a crash. 3 reasons. It's wired into your airbag system. Tampering with it risks the one safety device you genuinely want. Destroying or erasing crash data when a case is coming is called spoliation of evidence, and courts punish it severely. Judges can instruct a jury to assume the data would have proven your guilt, which is worse than anything the box could have said. And third, you be burning the only unbiased witness you have, the one that can't be intimidated, doesn't forget, and might be the thing that saves you. The tracker we removed in the earlier videos reported on you every single day for someone else's profit. This box speaks once, about 5 seconds, and federal law hands you the deed to it. The move isn't to silence this witness. The move is to make sure that when it speaks with your rights intact, through a warrant, through your lawyer, on the record, and not through a consent form signed on the shoulder of the highway with your hands still shaking. Because step back and look at the whole picture we've built across these videos. Your truck contains one device that surveils you daily, and you learn to shut it off. Your phone carried apps that sold your driving, and you learn to strip their permissions. And your truck carries one final recorder that belongs by law to you, and now you know how to keep it that way. That's what ownership actually means in 2026. Not just holding the title, knowing every box writing with you, what each one says about you, and who's allowed to listen. Thanks for watching. If this armed you with something you didn't know an hour ago, do me a favor and subscribe, because next, I'm going back to the beginning of all of this. The last model years you can still buy before the trucks started watching, brand by brand, the exact years the smart money is quietly buying up. If you've ever thought about keeping one honest truck in the driveway, you'll want that list. Until then, know your 5 seconds, know your 5 exceptions, and never sign away a witness you already own.